What is up, everyone? You are very welcome along to tonight's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. You know the drill by now. I am going to ask you for your thoughts on the subject I speak about, ask you to drop a like on the video, and of course, hit that subscribe button for me. Right, let's start off with some talk around Jurgen Klopp and his pre-match comments today, specifically around the possibility of signing a midfielder. It was a little bit different than we've heard previously from Jurgen Klopp. So today, the words that came out of his mouth, and I'm paraphrasing this, but they were something along the lines of sometimes money is the issue and sometimes availability is the issue. Now, for me, those are two completely different subjects. So if Jurgen Klopp's targets are available and FSG aren't willing to spend the money, or Jurgen Klopp is too stubborn to feel that there's value to be had there, that's one thing. If the targets just aren't available, then that's a complete other thing. For me, I think we're starting to see perhaps some little signs that maybe Jurgen Klopp is getting a little bit frustrated. I don't know, maybe I'm reading too much into this. Maybe my want for a midfielder is just blinding me from sensibility. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts on it anyway. I thought I'd open up with that one today and then move on to a story doing the rounds from Calcio Mercato. And they say that there's a little bit of a talk of a swap deal involving Paredes and Bobby Firmino. I have absolutely no idea if there's any legs to this or not. I do know that Paredes looks like he's most likely on his way to Juventus from all the things that I've been reading. But they value both players around the same according to this article, and I wouldn't say no to bringing in Paredes, but can we afford to go down another forward? I don't know, is the honest answer. Let me know your thoughts on it. And also, Paredes is 28 years of age, I believe, so hardly a spring chicken in this one. Let me know what you guys think. And look, I'm always of the mind, if another club wants rid of somebody and is willingly looking to get rid of them, what's going on? Why are they not good enough for them, but they'd be good enough for us? I know, I'm a bit weird like that, but that's my thoughts on it. Now we move on to the sexy topic. The one that you're probably going, look at this arrogant twat with his thumbnail. Yeah, kind of went a bit overboard with that one, but I'm going to let it slide because he's right. I was right. I will be right. I have always been right on this matter. And Henry Winter yesterday was replying to somebody on Twitter, and he said, worried about your perspective if you think they're similar players. That was with regards to Dele Alli and Jude Bellingham. Then he said, Jack, who was the gentleman he was speaking to, I'm looking forward to seeing Bellingham at LFC next year. Just hope Dele reignites his career. There you go. What do we say? Well, he actually said his drive somewhere. Sorry, I was lost interest in the Dele Alli bit. I won't lie to you. So, look, I know that people think I'm just a loudmouth who has no information ever and just says stuff or is a clickbait merchant that's been thrown. All this other nonsense. All I'm asking for is just a nod. Just to say, you know what? You might be a mouthy twat, but you were right. You were right. The information that you were given was correct, and Bellingham will become a Liverpool player. Just like I said 18 months ago when people were mocking me about it. I don't speak about transfers very often because I'll be the first person to tell you I only get the odd thing. I'm not somebody who's really well connected and has my finger on the pulse of all things coming in and out of Liverpool. I don't. I try and keep up to date like everybody else, but something happened to just come into my lap. As I've explained before, a journalist that I'm friendly with told me something, almost in a passing conversation, and then I kind of just went, what? And then they just let me know, as I said, that that's going to be his club after he leaves Dortmund. He will be a Liverpool player. I've said this exact thing all along. I've no idea on timings, no idea on fees. That's between the clubs to negotiate. But the certainty of this particular journalist to me, when I spoke with him, made me just be under no misconceptions that he was coming to Liverpool. So there you go. It won't be this summer. It won't be. I know some people are still holding out hope, but let's put it this way. They've already lost Haaland. If they lost Bellingham, they've no time to get a replacement unless, and this is far-fetched beyond belief, unless maybe Naby Keita was used as a make-weight in a deal, and that's something Dortmund may or may not be happy with. I have no idea. Klopp did say that Naby wasn't a million miles away from fitness. He also said Thiago was getting close to return to fitness, which is good news because we absolutely need bodies in midfield. Tomorrow, obviously, the game against Bournemouth kicking off at 3 p.m. I will be doing a watch along of it from 2 p.m. over on our Twitch channel, so I hope that you guys can join me over there. But I want to know, do you think that we're going to get a midfielder in before this window shuts? Because the language that Klopp is using has gone from, if the right options are available, we'll do it, or the options aren't available and we aren't willing to go down our list of pecking order of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whoever the targets are. But today's little line about the finances just makes me wonder, is it our owners being stingy? Because as I like to remind everybody, so far in this window, 1.8 million net spend from Liverpool Football Club. In the big transfer window, the one we were told last year was going to be the big one this summer. A lot of money going to be reinvested. Now, I am willing to give them a little bit of a break because Diaz was supposed to be this summer. I think that's fair enough. Our hand was forced on that because of Spurs' interest in him, and Liverpool, in fairness, went and got the job done. Got Diaz in January. Brilliant. Happy about that. But we need a midfielder. And I would argue that even if Thiago was available, if Cato was available, we're still short of a body. We're still short of a difference maker. We're still short of somebody who can split open defences, drive at defences. That dynamism that we were apparently supposed to have with Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, that we did see at the start of his Liverpool career, but has long since gone the other direction, really. One thing I was saying to somebody today who said, Craig, what makes you think that FSG next year will spend the money for Jude Bellingham? And I think often as fans we get blinded by the transfer fees in these, when often the devil in the detail is in the wages. And what I would say is, at the end of this season, James Milner will move on, Bobby Firmino will move on, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will move on, I think Adrian's due to move on, and probably a couple of others. And let's be honest, some of them, not a great loss to the squad overall with regards to starting 11s. Yes, we need to look at squad depth, but from my estimate and quick calculations, that's probably between £500,000 and £550,000 a week off the wage bill. So, that comes into consideration when the club are looking at their finances and transfers. I know it's very easy for us to just look at the transfer fee as the headline and think nothing of it, but ultimately you're committing 5 years worth of wages to somebody, and if somebody was to come in at, let's say, 200 grand a week, well, that's what, 10 million quid a year, 5-year contract, 50 million quid, a lot of money. So you need to keep that into consideration as well. But that's why I think next summer does make sense for Bellingham, because we will have all of that money freed up from the wage bill. The wage bill that we keep being reminded is one of the highest in world football, even though we've got one player that I'm aware of over 200 grand a week. I think Thiago's there or thereabouts. Maybe verges a little bit over 200 with his new deal, but nobody in the 300 bracket except Mohamed Salah that I'm aware of. Whereas other clubs like Manchester United, whom we're told we've got revenues that pretty much matched. There was a minuscule difference between the two clubs in the last set of numbers I'd seen. I have no problem spending 350 grand a week on De Gea, I think, on wages. They're willing to bring in Frankie de Jong. I probably would have paid him 400 grand a week. They had Alexis Sanchez. Obviously, they were paying him a lot of money. Ronaldo's on 500 or 600 grand a week, I think. So how do we have the second highest wage bill? Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. We must have a lot of people being overpaid in the lower ends of the wages, which is kind of strange because we're led to believe our contracts are highly incentivized, particularly for new players coming in. I know I'm rambling a little bit here, my friends, but look, one more little thing. Apparently Liverpool are keeping an eye on Celtic midfielder Matt O'Reilly. That is from ESPN. If the Liverpool are keeping an eye on him. I don't know much about him. I don't watch Celtic. I do know that he's on loan, I think, this season. I think he is on loan in 1 second. Don't know where he's on loan. MK Dons, I think, maybe. No, he joined from MK Dons, but he's on loan. Anyway, keep an eye on him. If you know anything about him, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, I just said I'd throw it in at the end of the video. As I said, watch along tomorrow, 2 p.m. But Bellingham, give your boy a bit of credit. That's all I'm saying. I'm not asking for the sun. I'm not asking for the moon. I'm not asking for the stars. Just a little nod to say, you know what? We doubted you, but you weren't wrong.